Okay, so here are our heroes right here. They just left the grove. And that's literally where they had kind of left off. Yeah. So, contact-wise, they have talked to, when they first got here, they talked to a master celestial wizard called Dieter Klemper, who was a friend of a friend. He introduced them to a Lord Frederick, who is a pretty influential noble, who has introduced them to Maximilian Sayer, a wealthy merchant, who in turn has introduced them to Conrad Mesner, the Wizard Lord of the College of Light. And thus far, that is as far as they've got on their little web of intrigue, and developing relationships as they go, and trying to, score points with the people that they intertwine with. So, as you stand outside the grove, now bearing in mind it was late at night by the time you got in there. So it's much later than that now. It's the early wee hours. What do you guys want to do? You're outside the grove. You can cross the bridge onto the other side of the great river to where the temples are, or you can kind of go along the docklands and cut back to the Burning Table Inn, which is where you have a room. Or you can stand outside and just...
We could just stand outside. And
loiter with intent until the guards come and arrest you.
If we loiter, we'll probably try get those, assassins after us again, which could be fun. But I think we decided we were going back to the room, right?
I don't remember.
I think we did.
That was years ago that we played.
Because I remember all that
did.
being I don't want to kill a witch hunter.
No, we don't.
I remember
we were
parts
going
of the
to have
conversation went, okay, even if we did, how could we kill a witch hunter? That I think Bertilda had concerns about whether that was even a viable thing.
I think we were
Oh, that's just we don't want to.
I mean, also, this guy's a wizard lord, but he expects us to do it.
Yep.
Well, if a wizard lord was to be seen going around killing witch hunters that are suspecting him of chaos activity, it is kind of putting a pretty big target on your back, isn't it? Wait, the person that accused
who cares
you
if we do it, right?
ends up dead?
We were gonna walk through the docks back to the burning candle. That was I think Odette Nat is right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burning camel?
Isn't that what it's called?
The burning table.
Table.
The burning
Why would
camel.
a table be burning? We'll just light a candle.
I heard camel. That was why I was asking.
Oh, burning camel. Yeah, well, that's...
Burning chair makes more sense than a burning camel.
But it's...
Depending on the camel,
No, the burning camel's in Arconis, guys. Come on.
Yeah, that's like a,
Yeah, they don't make those anymore, do they? Yeah, they do. I don't know. I never go and ask for them, so...
Okay.
When's the last time you smoked with cigarettes,
Oh, never. So, I'm obviously
I'm just going to recapture that.
the expert on the topic.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're gonna go here and talk it out, Chris.
I mean, you can talk it out down here in the main inn, or you can go up to your private room. Whatever you decide.
Our tab is covered, so we might want to order some food and drink and take a minute. I mean, we just found out that our lives are on the line based on whether or not we can convince this guy we're qualified.
No, Matthew Bain. I am not putting my back to that door.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna almost fumble with the chair. It's probably gonna fall a little bit as I scramble up. You don't mind the window, Bertilda? I mean, it's right there.
I mean, I'm not near it.
Line of sight,
After that's mentioned, I'm going to be like really mindful, like what's going on outside of this window because we have had multiple assassination attempts on us.
Okay,
I was
so
gonna say,
you're
old
rolling
Dad's
your
probably
hands.
wary of the window.
Yeah, so I'm looking through that window, kind of.
Old Dad almost got killed through a window.
Yeah,
You know.
And a door.
So
that door's more noticeable though.
how are we gonna kill the witch hunter? Huh?
Can
I
you
don't
not
think that's
say
the
it?
course of
We're
action.
not? And can you not say it?
Quite so publicly and loudly.
So, how are we going to kill this witch
Well, I mean,
hunter?
it's the easiest thing we can do. I mean, you know.
That's an
Easiest?
old turn of, yeah, that's an
Wow.
Ertengurdian turn of phrase. Yeah, killing the witch hunter. He's talking about,
Going to the
No.
loo?
No,
I gotta
don't
go
believe
kill
that's
the witch
plan.
hunter. I'll be right back.
All right. So how are we gonna get rid of him?
Well,
Convert him to Ulrich and have him take penance? We could do that. That'll work.
But he's
I was
already
thinking
got.
something along those lines, actually. More along, if we get him tangled up in some kind of mess, which would deform his character to a point where he could no longer stay here to continue his investigation.
I'd much rather get rid of asshole.
not-
What's his name? Is that
No, I have it down.
Conrad. I'd much rather get rid
Conrad's
of
our
him.
guy, and our witch hunter is Gotrig.
Yeah.
I know.
Hammer.
We go to this witch hunter and we say Gotree. Yeah, we go to Gotree and we say that Sigmar is corrupt from within by an evil chaos cult, and we use the same story of what happened to us with Ulrich in Middenheim to make it a convincing story. So then Gotree goes to Sigmar, gets tangled up, and gets off Conrad's back.
I
That'd be a
don't
lot
really think
easier.
Ulrich would approve of interfering
It's not
with
Ulrich,
it.
but we're messing with Sigmar. 'Cause who cares about Sigmar? It's Ulrich all the way, you know?
They
I
should
mean, I
be.
care about Sigmar. And
I think that
Why?
I do as
Ulrichians and
well.
Sigmarites, or whatever the hell they're called in this
I'm
world,
from Ert-
should work together.
It's. I mean, I'm from Ertengurd. We worship Sigmar there. It's like a thing.
Not all of us, but that's beside the point.
yeah, I know. Like you, I understand you have this holy Sekai worldview where you gotta go and chase the wolf. But some of us like home.
You don't chase the wolf, you ride the wolf into battle.
No, that's the
Is
white
this
pony.
a euphemism?
The white pony.
No,
Ride the white
this
pony.
one isn't. This one's literal.
Oh, why don't we tell Gotree about that blood temple to Korn and
You
send
say his
him that
name for
way?
me really quick.
Or, hear me out, we tell Gotree the truth.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that we're all gonna die, and you should take penance with Ulrich.
Well, I
I
was
mean, if
thinking
we-
more along
And
the
he's
lines
cannon
that
fodder.
we were sent here
Oh,
by the Sigmarites, right? To get this chaos artifact and destroy it.
Speaking
And
of
then
Ulrich,
we went and we talked to
this is an Ulrich USB key.
It's a little USB dongle. That's so cool. You plug that in your computer. It's the coolest computer in town.
I was thinking that perhaps the witch hunter might have some idea how to get rid of the dagger.
see,
And
there's
if
that
we just
too.
get rid of him, then we're wasting the opportunity to. learn
Right,
that
he could
information.
help us.
Yes.
That's one angle we could just be completely honest with him. However, he is very from what I heard from the church, eccentric even for a witch hunter.
what about that other witch hunter?
Difficult to work with him.
We could also go
Theodore?
see the other witch.
I was thinking that they might.
We
have
go-
been
yeah.
peers.
We
Or
go to
pay no
her
less dose.
to convince him to stop being so fucking weird, have penance with Ulrich, punish himself, self-flagellation, that kind of thing, and then
Yes,
we
of
get
course,
him
of
to
course.
solve the problem with the thing.
I believe you lost me partway through that.
Well, I mean, you know, it's,
Okay,
it's
well,
it's like-
all
I
that.
do
step
like the
one,
idea
step
of a
two,
dwarf
question
version.
mark
Take-
profit,
yes,
right?
but you take all the part about the flagellation and the
But I don't,
penance to Ulrich and everything, and you
I
take that
don't
out.
want to. I don't want
It's a
to.
pretty good.
We like that part.
It's
the
not
dwarf hurts
terrible.
himself. We all
This
laugh.
is true.
He does it again. We all laugh.
I'm
Ulrich's
just saying,
blessed.
we could just be honest. We are here on behalf of the Sigmarian Temple.
We
And
are,
we are
and
here
I think
to
that it might be
destroy
wise
them.
to perhaps withhold the information about someone trying to kill him first. But perhaps he might be able to help us, and if he's amenable to that,
well, yeah, we don't have to
then
tell him that
perhaps-
part, but we could tell him that.
yes, and if he's amenable to it, then we could easily gain favor with him
Hey,
and
Satch, can you
get his
turn your
assistance.
volume up just a fraction?
Yeah, I turned it down because there was feedback I was worried about.
Yeah, there's no
is that
feedback
okay?
now, but
Okay.
that sounds better.
We can just say that he said that he was having. I mean, just tell him the truth. We don't have to include the part about the option we were given to kill him, because obviously we're
Right.
not going to do that.
Correct.
Messner seems like he just has more on his mind than the things that are irritating him.
I mean, it is true that both of them want what we supposedly want, which is to destroy the thing, right? So,
Right.
I could really I could not possibly care less about Conrad Messner's problems, to be honest.
I could care about Conrad Messner's problems. He's sitting on a lot more artifacts than ours.
Do you think?
He's admitted
He
as much.
admitted to having a whole vault of them, yes.
Do you think he has the other one we're looking for too?
I sure hope not.
If he does, we don't want to burn this bridge.
We also don't want them together. That was
Right.
one of the biggest things, was
Right.
we had to figure out how to
So-
destroy it here.
Okay, so maybe we do want Go Trick to raid his.
For some reason, I believe that the person who's dedicated their entire life to studying the arcane might be better equipped at handling the containment of these items than.
But we've also seen that even the church is incapable of containing these
right.
items.
And that's where I'm going with this. The crazed lunatic.
these aren't the
Stout
churches, though.
fellow
These
who's
are the
going to run around.
colleges. It's different. It's different.
So my understanding is we should try and learn more about Gotrig, maybe from Theodora, and then try and befriend Gotrig, maybe help him out with something, and then try and ease in this angle where we have information on an artifact that he's keeping that we need to destroy. He's in league with destroying it. Maybe if he backs off, then we can get it and destroy it together.
Or at least he can
however we
pretend to
need.
back off.
Right, he can pretend to back off or just take the pressure off for a while. However
I
it
do
needs
like
to
this
happen.
plan.
I'm so excited for once. Being honest and telling the truth is a good plan.
Also, like, all of us have, for the most part, agreed on something.
And then after all this is said and done, we introduce him to the Church of Ulrich and get
Yes.
him whipping himself. Yes.
Yes.
I believe
And then I
you.
can.
Flo.
I
watch
will
him
do
laugh
the
at
first
silly
lick.
dwarf.
Okay, let's.
And then
put a
I'll lick
pin in that.
myself.
We'll put a pin in that.
I don't want
and,
to watch you lick yourself, Matthew. It's not really
with,
what I'm
with
into.
a whip.
Oh. Yeah, no, still. Maybe just keep hitting the dwarf.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll hit. Well, I think we should all get hit. We all deserve it, but you know.
Yeah, right.
Fair enough, we'll do the dwarf
Especially dwarves, right? Especially dwarves,
absolutely.
yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
you can miss me with that weird shit.
Ever make a dwarf shorter?
All right.
Doesn't get rid of the smell.
What dwarves have you been around?
Any dwarf, and they're all the same.
That's
I assume I assume we're gonna get something to eat and then go to bed, and then on the morrow meet Gotrig or
Well, what
Theodora
time
first.
is it?
It's like night, right?
Oh, very
the middle
late.
of the
Yeah,
night,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's like
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's eat. And
definitely probably like early wee hours of the morning by the time you get back here.
Do I know?
Oh, good.
Yeah,
The
you-
bard is in
I
the corner
usually
singing
then.
"Closing Time."
There's a tavern near Theodora's house where she can be found. She'll also be at her
good
house
to
most
know,
of the
John.
time.
Good to know.
We're not going tonight though, right?
Yeah,
Right,
I'm just noting out loud because I have the notes.
Is
Yeah.
today Wednesday?
She gets along with Lord Frederick, who is like our guy. So if we need to get in touch with her, we can probably just talk to him, and he'd know where to find her. He'd probably be down to visit her even. And we all love him, right? He's good.
Thus far,
Oh, yeah,
Lord
I did.
Frederick
I
has
just sent you all my notes too.
been on your side, I guess.
He's been by
As
our
far as you
side
know.
the whole time, yeah.
If
Look,
Gore,
Bertilda's not in love with him. It's fine. We're safe. We can trust this guy.
yeah, Gore, if you pull a Lord Frederick was evil all along, I'm going to be
If
so
he's-
mad at you, man.
If he's B-boy this whole time, I'm gonna be pissed.
It's Warhammer. You know how these things
Had the
go.
artifact.
But he's not
All
smart
along.
enough to betray us.
Maybe
That's
it's
the
a
best kind
trick.
of
It's
Maybe
mind
that's
game.
the guy ruse de guerre the entire time.
He's been doing this with his
Surprise,
entire life in
I'm
all the
corn.
social circles with everyone forever, so that when we turned up,
Yeah. Is that a bloodthirster in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me?
Hey, ooh.
Why not both?
All right, yeah. So we're gonna grab something to eat, quick, go to bed, and then start fresh tomorrow.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, in that case, you will wake up bright and early, rested. Everybody heal a point if you needed to.
I like that part. That's my
Anything?
favorite.
Oh
part.
wait, some of us are still hurt. Sorry, thinking
Yeah.
of it from Bertilda's point of view.
Yeah, some of us are still very hurt. Thank you.
Yeah, and of course, if any of you were below 3 and are now above 3 wounds, and that has significance as well.
Got above 3 last time.
Funny how we're walking around with like a little tiny corpse man.
Little tiny corpse man.
I was pretty hurt, so I was probably pretty bruised up this entire time.
Yeah, fortunately, you haven't been having lots of fights and stuff. So,
Yeah.
how many
I'm still under
wounds are
10.
you? How many wounds are you on now?
I just got back up to 9.
Okay, yeah, so you're getting there.
Slowly.
Yeesh.
Well, good. Okay. So yeah, in the morning, what is your game plan? What do you wish to do? I know you're talking about trying to find this Theodora Firik. How are you going to find this person?
Wake up, get some eggs and bacon.
I was
Wakey,
gonna
wakey, eggs and
say
bakey.
Some
Oh,
pancakes
that might take
and
everybody
waffles and omelets.
to whatever the place was. Where was it?
I'm
With
Hurry
hungry.
notes. I have notes.
Do we have anything about her other than
we
she's
don't know where her house is, other than she tends to be there.
and
Alright,
we
look,
don't talk
I
about
was
what she looks like.
Right up
Right.
thinking we should just go eat food. I was zoned in on the food idea.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm also really hungry in real life right now. So
I could just always be distracted by this. Yeah,
So
I
are we meeting
think.
in Tennessee for Waffle House, or?
Well,
Waffle
Odette
House
did
sounds
some
good.
recon about the best restaurant in town. So we have the best restaurant in town. There's also the idea that we could probably go bother Lord Friedrich. Because
Yes, I'm sure he
we
feels
can
like we've been
always
bothering
go
him.
bother him. Tell him a couple stories, make something up, and then he can probably point us in the right direction as well.
Sure.
Since he's friends with her. Like, we know that they're
Yeah.
friends at this point.
Yeah.
Yes,
and then
we're
we
go-
can.
Want to go
Maybe
get food, or
update
do you
him
want to
on
go
our-
bother?
There's only one person who's not friends with Frederick, right? And that is
Well, Maximilian wasn't friends.
Oh, good, it's
They were-
Goatree.
No, Maximilian wasn't friends with him. They've done business together. So they know of each other. They're like acquaintances, business acquaintances.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was enough to
I
get
don't
us
know. The
introduced.
only thing I have in my notes is Frederick not close with beside Goatree. So
Yeah.
that's good for us.
And
So,
then-
so we're gonna go to Frederick to ask about where Theodora we could find her, right? So let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know where Lord Frederick's house is, so
Yes,
that
we do.
shouldn't be a big problem. So yeah, bright and early in the morning after breakfast, you can
bother
head
him so
down
much.
to Four Heroes at Freddy's. Okay. Yep, he will be there, and as always, is more than eager to see his fellow chaos fighting teammates.
That's right.
When you arrive, he will also be in the middle of eating a very lavish breakfast, making what you probably just had look like, gruel and offal in comparison. But he will eagerly invite you to sit down and dine with him to break your fast.
Secret handshake.
And he will say, "So, were we successful last night? Did we succeed in our mission?"
We have gained all of the information that we need as to the location of the artifact.
Of course we did. Yes, I worked very hard to distract all the would-be enemies from our task. I had faith that you would succeed.
You did such a great job that they had no idea that we were even asking this question.
Yes, your distraction was the best I've ever seen in all my elvish years.
That is
crazy, awesome.
Indeed,
man.
a compliment coming from one that lives so very long as an elf.
You're like a sparkling mayfly.
So, pray tell, what is our mission today? How shall we all proceed?
Well, our next mission is to find a way to destroy the artifact. And I was thinking we should probably speak to Theodora, since she has experience as a witch hunter.
Yes, this was my thought as well. As I laid here this morning, before I got up to breakfast, I thought to myself, we should talk to Theodora Ferrig. After all, she's a witch hunter, I told myself.
That is such a great idea. The problem is we don't actually know where to find her.
He says, well, fortunately for you, Theodora and I are great friends.
Oh, good.
So much like before, I can give you a letter of introduction and tell you where you may find her.
Sweet.
That would be wonderful. We would be more than happy to go find this information on your behalf. So we can destroy this artifact together.
I do indeed have many important other things to take care of this morning, so perhaps it would be best if you went and handled this particular thing yourself, and then report back to me and let me know how well we did.
Of course.
Says,
I'm more than happy to do this for you.
Yes, so if you're looking for Theodora, she has become somewhat reclusive of late. And really, other than short excursions, confines herself to her townhouse, walled in with her many, many trophies of her days of would-be adventure. Yes, I can give you the address and a letter of introduction on my behalf.
That would be wonderful.
Bitchin'.
Okay. He will take to writing such things and get those things ready.
So what a lucky empire this is to have the likes of Lord Frederick on its side. He's so good.
I love
the
him
perfect
so much.
man. I love him.
So as Frederick goes, I'm just gonna lean into the group and say, when we actually get to destroy the artifacts, I think Frederick should be with us.
Okay.
For all the help he's been doing,
yeah,
I don't think so.
If we can manage that.
If it's something as simple as like a ceremony where we can destroy it, certainly. But if it's in the heat of the moment where we have to destroy it quickly,
Well,
we
see,
can just
here's
tell him
the
about it and
thing.
he'll think he was with us.
Being in the presence of chaos is very, very dangerous, as we've learned. And I mean, we're in danger right this second of exploding out of ourselves if we come in contact with too much chaos. I don't think we want to subject him to that.
That's not gonna happen. I mean, when I snorted that warpstone dust, it was fine.
Oh,
You
yes. I forgot about that.
I didn't explode. I just, was able to
it's not
smell
like
your
three
BO
of us-
under that armor better.
It's not like three of us have died or anything.
No. I mean, Catarel and myself, we almost died a few times.
We were only mostly dead. It's quite different.
I'm pretty sure all three of you have died.
I'm pretty sure I actually died.
Oh yeah, that too. I mean, you're so small; it's almost like you didn't count. But you're right.
Damn.
Oh boy, thank you. I am so glad to know exactly.
I'm gonna kind of push back a bit. I'm just like, you have to excuse him. He's not been himself lately.
Insane? Was that the word you were looking for?
That is the word I was looking for with him. I for one quite admire your talents.
You hear that, Odette? He's in love with you.
I don't have to talk, so I love having
Oh, see, he admits it. I was just talking about my ass.
You'll note that Catarel
loves
is
you.
already drinking wine and eating from the cheese board.
Can we do a wedding with like chains and like whips and?
Yes,
No.
Matthew Bain,
You can
plan the
stop
wedding.
talking
No,
whenever
we
you're
are
ready.
By your more dangerous thoughts.
I'm already ready for it, so.
Alrighty.
Come on.
Well,
Right.
he'll give you the directions to Theodora's house, which is kind of a little south and very much east of here. Here, to be precise. But not too terribly far. You can get there in about an hour. On foot.
Okay.
I love walking for an hour.
Let's walk for an hour. Talk about the wedding preparations.
What I would do to walk for an hour.
Hey, so nothing but a brief
not get-
constitutional.
And just
And
be
not
able to
have my
walk
hip
for an hour.
start-
Gore, whenever you say constitutional, I think take a shit. I'm sorry, I can't.
You mean killing
That's
the
a
witch hunter?
constipational. That's a constipational.
Yes, my weekly constipational. It's when I just eat a whole rack of lamb alone.
All right, yes, we walk for an hour to Theodora's
Okay, so you're going to head
house.
over to Theodora's house. Once you arrive there, again, one of you has the letter of introduction from Lord Frederick. You can
Like we
decide
all
who. So when you get there, it is a very large but plain townhouse. The small little gardenette that's in front of the front door behind a very small little modest wooden, stone half wall is overgrown and has not been well tended. But other than that, it's clearly a house that you'd have to have some wealth to own, but whoever owns it doesn't seem to really keep much pride or attention in its upkeep. You can kind of open the little wrought iron gate and the short walk up to the big wooden door.
Question. Did we say she was a halfling?
I don't think we ever knew.
I don't think we know what she is. Yeah.
All we know is
Theodora,
Joel's
I don't think anybody
she was
asked, so
I remember that for some reason in my head, but okay.
You could be right.
I just have that
We'll see
knowledge
in a
in my
second.
head for some reason, and I probably made
wishful
it up.
thinking.
I probably made it
A
up.
dwarf comes to the door and I immediately stab her.
Oh, please don't do that.
Okay.
Sorry, no,
Okay,
no,
that's
that's a
good.
reflex.
I just wanted
reflex.
You're not the halfling we imagined you to be. Okay.
You can't be the person that I want to see because
I
you're
had
not
to
as I
clarify
imagined.
because my brain is expecting it, and I was like, "Wait, I don't actually know if I made this up or if this is real."
I don't know.
I
I
think
say
she
I don't
was
have it in my
human.
notes, but we also learned that all I had from one whole session was Hannah less than 3.
All
Those
right.
are the best those are the best notes though.
They are.
Okay.
They're great.
Yeah, so you wander up to the door. Upon arriving at the door, everybody give me a perception roll, please.
Oh, good.
I get to roll my first 20. Oh wait.
Wrong game.
You don't know.
Although a 20 is good in Warhammer, typically.
Sure.
Ooh, I got one.
Oh,
He says he's got one.
I'm really not paying attention to this crap.
Neither is a bit.
Okay.
Catarel
Anybody
being
choosing to
superior.
spend one of your points? Remember, you've got all your fortune points back for the day.
No, I'll probably just get hit in the face with an arrow.
Okay. Well, in that case, Cadorel, as you walk up and are about to knock on the door, you will notice in the top left, right And bottom left, right corner of the door, some little marks have been scratched in.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I mean, I know
It's
you're talking
in
to
multiple
him,
corners. Like there's marks, right?
Yeah, like in the top
I
left
know, I just
and
got
right
confused
corners.
with left, right.
Oh, top left and right, and bottom left, right corners. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So in all of the corners.
Would have been an easier way of saying it, I suppose.
It was the left, right that threw me off. Like, those are opposites.
You weren't a communications major.
Look, it's just another form of weast, guys.
Weast,
okay?
weast, yeah.
It's weast of here.
Everything's weast if you keep spinning round.
West nor south.
Fine, north is up.
North.
I'm
Yeah,
going
so,
north.
but do you happen to have any particular knowledge, skills that are related towards the arcane, sir?
Do you know anything?
I got common knowledge elves,
Sir
which
Catarrel?
basically includes... Yeah, Catarrel has common knowledge of elves, which basically encompasses all knowledge. So
Yeah,
I
no.
would say...
No.
I'll buy.
No. That is an incredibly wide net you're trying to cast, and the holes are huge.
Yeah, I haven't taken Secret Science Scout or Secret Language Ranger. I haven't done any of that because I was too worried about dying.
So the answer is no.
So no, but I see some weird marks for sure. And
Okay,
my
yes,
first
you will
impulse would
see
be,
some weird marks.
Yeah, my first impulse would be to point them out to Matthew Bain.
Okay, in that case,
because
Matthew
he
Bain,
can
I believe you might have such a skill.
I
You
do.
may have a dice roll on it then.
Academic knowledge, arcane, right?
Yes.
All right. Heyo.
Okay.
Kind of looks like a taco.
They are what you would consider spent wards. At some point, they were wards, magical wards to protect against chaos, but best you can tell, they are not live or charged anymore. But the
Right, so
the scratchings, in the door, the indentations are there, but there is no radiance coming from them.
okay, so I'm assuming I'm behind most of the party because
Yeah, we don't want
makes sense.
you to be the first thing she sees.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is grab both Bertilda and Catarrel's shoulders because they're in front of me and say, "Wait!
Old Dad's gonna keep walking then. Like she's
Careful.
not. She's gonna
So
think.
you'll walk straight up to the
Be
door.
careful.
The wards!
She'll stop at that point. But
Wards
like
of
it would
what?
take her a couple steps more.
Well,
I don't want warts. They last. a
They're
lot longer for
magical wards. I mean, they're spent, but still, be careful.
Okay. If
Does
he's
that
saying
mean
that
they're not so?
after
Oh
I
yeah,
point
they're
it out, right?
absolutely harmless.
Then I'm gonna actually look for more possible wards because if these ones are dead, there might be some live ones that I'm standing on right now.
Okay, so
No, I'm sure you're fine. Just knock
you
on the door.
noticed the first ones with perception, but this time you're actually going to search for some.
Okay.
So give me a search roll as you scour the door.
Hi, Shane.
Hey, I did it.
Not bad.
Hey,
Okay. Strangely enough, as you're kind of searching, you also, all encompassing the door area. You move the doormat. Oh yeah, and there's one under the doormat too, been carved into the stone.
What about that one? Is that one?
can I do a magic sense
Yeah.
to determine
You
what
can.
it is? And can
No,
I
no,
re-roll
you
it?
You may spend a fortune point.
I am absolutely doing that to fail again. Wait,
Oh!
damn.
Yeah, you're unable to really tell.
Maybe you should go
Charged
first, Matthew
or
Bain.
not.
I mean, I know we usually put you at the
I
back.
mean, you are fairly sure that it's a ward against chaos, so unless any of you are chaos tainted, you should be all right.
Does insanity count as chaos tainted? Probably not, right?
Yeah, it's just insanity. That's a little
It's
different.
just crazy. It's just my brain being broken.
I don't know. You have been behaving pretty chaotically lately.
You had a pig nose
Yeah.
recently.
There's
with
one way
Bert-
to find out. Go ahead and step up
With
on that
Bertilda
doormat.
saying that, I absolutely will walk on top of the ward.
And suddenly nothing happens. Okay. You're standing on the doormat, and nothing happens.
I just look over my shoulder, shrug, and then knock on the door.
good
Okay.
thing
I'm glad we
it's
were
a good thing I
wary
left
of that.
Wayne at home. Yeah.
But when
I
you
guess
try to
we'll
move
knock
off of
on
the doormat.
All right, the door is opened by a stuffy-looking individual wearing a black suit with long coattails, who smiles at you through his teeth.
I returned the smile.
Yeah,
You know,
I
like, it's
think that's like an elvish thing.
very
We don't know if they
faked,
just-
and he goes, "Yes."
Oh, his customer service.
I'm not allowed to speak to you per her orders, so I'm going to back up and let them talk to you. Bye.
Very
I'm
strange.
just going to scooch back.
Imagine I'll catch you by like the collar and like keep you there.
Can I help you at all?
Yes, we are here with a letter of instruction. We would like to speak with Theodora Philly.
Lady Theodora? And you say you have a letter of introduction from who?
Well, here, and I'm gonna hand over the letter.
Okay, he's like, whoosh, snatches it from you, like with really fast reflexes, and flips it over in his hand. Ah, I recognize this seer. This is the seer from the Van Keller family. Do you know Lord Frederick?
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Very
love
well,
him.
if you will wait here, I will take it to her mistress and see if she will see you.
Thank you very much.
And he just rudely slams the door in your face.
Like, Odette would probably like pull back, like just a little bit, almost like it's gonna hit her.
I'm gonna like
You know, I
look
like
at everybody else. Well, he's no Hannah.
Oh no, absolutely not. He's probably got different genitals.
I mean, probably.
A few minutes later, you hear his rather fast footsteps coming back to the door. As he opens the door once again, you hear numerous locks being removed. The mistress of the house will see you. Follow me. Quickly
Thank
now.
you.
We don't want to leave the door
Okay,
open.
okay.
I'm gonna do like a little bow and just kind of follow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk
Just-
in.
He'll usher you all
Meander
past,
in.
lock the door behind you, and then whisk you down a hallway into a large study. The first thing you can tell about the large study is it has a lot of books.
Oh,
Second thing you
good.
can tell is they are covered in dust and cobwebs. Whoever owns this library doesn't tend to read very often by the looks of it.
Oh, hey, me either.
Leaning up against a fireplace with a metal flagon is a lady, if you can call her that.
Oh.
I
She's
mean,
in her
yeah.
late 40s, and while it is clear that she was probably fairly attractive in her youth, she has scars on her face from claw marks, a large chunk missing from her chin, so it looks kind of like it's almost cut to the bone on the left-hand side. She's wearing traveling clothes, but as you kind of like look at her and study, they are made, while they're very plain clothes, they're made from very expensive fabric and very high level of craftsmanship. Someone went to a lot of trouble to make very, very expensive, nice clothes look crap, if that makes any sense. So, once you walk in, your guests, madam. She's ushers him away, takes a big swallow of whatever it is that's in that metal cup, and then turns, leans up against the fireplace, and says, "Well, what can I do for you? It says here in this letter that Lord Frederick seems to think that there is some information that we might like to share. I can't imagine what."
Well, hello. I'm Odette. These are my friends, Batilda, Catterell, Matthew Payne. And we were sent to the city on a mission to find and destroy an artifact of chaos.
Oh, really? I used to do some of that
Yes.
in my youth, you know.
We had heard that, and we were hoping that you might have some information for us that could help us with our mission.
Well, why I don't practice the art so much anymore. I'm willing to assist those that do, as long as it doesn't put me under too much of a inconvenience.
We would really appreciate that.
So, you are Battlers of Chaos, eh? What have you done in your past? I, for example, began my life as a bounty hunter, bringing in the would-be dregs of humanity and holding them to justice. One such hunt led me to deal with the vile undead, and then I turned my hand to the slaughter and slaying of vampire hunters. And then finally my most natural calling came about.
Did she just say she killed vampire hunters?
She killed vampires. She was a vampire hunter.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, my most natural calling was to progress to that of witch hunting and seeking out those that would align themselves with chaos. I have retired from such a task with plenty of money and some renown, enough that I can live a quiet life here in the city of Altdorf. Would it be not that people such as yourselves kept feeling the need to seek me out?
We heard you were a bad bitch. I don't say that, I'm sorry.
Two apologies for such.
I mean, like, old
That's a
Bet's
huge
probably
bitch!
starry-eyed. Like, this is, like, her
Yeah.
goal in life at this moment.
Catarella as well. Like she's
Like, she starts going through her career, and old Bet's just like, oh my gosh, I can do this. I can do this. This is my dream.
we
well-
started our adventure with an escort from Ertingerd.
Utengard?
That's where we came from. Yeah, that's our home. Yeah. We
I know it's early, but do you want some ale?
absolutely.
Just kind of motions,
please.
just motions to a little kind of side table that's got a handful of mugs and a big
Clink clink bitches.
a big pitcher of ale that's just sitting there. Ale for breakfast. Stuff of witch hunters.
Catarella will take one. And just kind of sit and continue to ruminate on that. I'm just going to kind of go through the part where, we landed there with a portrait of the saint himself, and then that led through battling monsters we had heard about in fairy tales, and soon enough we found ourselves in a line of work we weren't anticipating. Worked with the Order Fatalis a little bit, recovering a quite nasty skull of corn, ick nature, and turns out it's one of 3, and we're now in pursuit of our second, which is a dagger currently in the hands of Conrad Messner, and he needs our trust in order to...
Oh, you know him.
Oh, I'm very familiar with Lord Mesner, yes.
Can
pray
I
what are
tell
your-
how
pray
she
tell, what are
said
your
that?
feelings on him?
Yeah, did she say that like she also thinks he's an asshole, or?
See how the
No, I'm
conversation goes.
literally asking. I'm literally asking her, like, pray tell, what are your feelings of him? Because
Well,
he's
it would depend on what your line of inquiry is, I suppose.
Just in general.
Why have you come to seek? Is that what you've come for? To talk to me about Lord Mesner?
Indirectly.
he seems to have a quandary with a certain Gotri Hammerfist.
Gotri? Why?
Gotri seems to, on his words, have suspicions of Conrad, which
Preposterous. Lord Mesner, a Chaos League agent or a cultist? Ridiculous. Why? If
does
I
have
saw him
Starbucks.
sacrificing babies with my own eyes, I'd still want a second opinion. He's been a stalwart opponent of the darkness for years.
that is the
Right.
impression he gave off, however cold.
Well, He is a light wizard, after all. The light wizards are responsible for guarding some of the most dangerous artifacts in the world. And knows the location of even more. They wouldn't reveal this information to just anyone, however. And pity the poor fool that dared to try to break into the Light College, assuming they could even find the place.
And this is the concern with Gotrig. He seems to be causing irritation in that regard, and...
Well, I must say he has less than a stellar reputation. Some do pertain that he is quite mad, you know.
That's what I heard at the Temple of
While
Sigmar, yes.
much of the trappings of battling chaos I wear on my visage, he wears inside his head.
Oh, good. You know what that's like, don't you, Matthew?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I need to cast versions in. Right. It is as such, then, as Conrad has said, and thank you for confirming that Conrad can, in fact, be trusted with that. When there are those who would fight chaos seem to be at odds with each other, it becomes a conflicting place in my own mind. I can't always discern, so a third opinion has been extremely helpful in that regard.
My face goes dark at this, like, talking about that. Oh, I'm glad to know he can be trusted and stuff like that.
Which is now to the point. We are tasked with disarming Gotrig's continual assault on Conrad Messner. In order to gain his trust, he has asked us to help deal with this.
I don't envy you that task. After all, from what I know of Gotri Hammerfist, he is not the friendliest of sort. In fact, I don't believe he has any friends. If anything, he may have a few acquaintances or contacts, but none that I dare think that he would call friend. His paranoia has become quite extreme.
Oh, yeah. It's paranoia.
That's, again...
But I have a question for you. There have recently been stories circulating that a group of adventurers found a ritual that could destroy chaos artifacts. One of them was a wizard who knew, or who now apparently has such a ritual. But of what I heard, the group disbanded. One was an elf, and apparently headed back to Orthwan. I had wondered initially if that was you.
No, that's not us.
I can't.
Then you must be the other group. It lines up with your story. I had heard that there was a group of meddlers, adventurers, should I say, to be more polite.
No, meddlers is probably
faffing around.
No, we meddle. We meddle.
And they had
Call it as you
uncovered
see it.
some chaos monstrosity. And that sounds like it's probably more likely your little band. I don't know if any of those individuals of the other party are still in town, but if they are, and you could find them, maybe they have this ritual. Maybe it can be used to destroy this thing that you're looking for.
Where did you hear about them?
It's my business to know about all things that go on in chaos. While I don't practice anymore, I do have a few unnameable contacts operating inside the city that keep my ears to the ground on my behalf.
Such a curse it is that someone of your quality lives a mortal life.
Well, as you know, I am acquaintances with Conrad Mesner and a friend of Lord Frederick. But, some of my information comes from a merchant friend of mine. He tends to have quite
Maximilian.
Maximilian?
There.
Yes. Oh, you've met him too. Terrible
His
lecture,
Paris
but,
is something else.
Yes,
We get around, as you see.
yes, as I say, terrible lecture, but he does tend to trade in all things, not just materialistic.
Meaning.
Meaning that Maximilian Sayer has had dozens of affairs, including those with almost all of his servants.
Oh, no. I'm going to look at Bertilda dismayed.
He, of course, wouldn't want it to be public, but, and she kind of looks specifically at, Oldet and Bertilda. He says that, I'd be careful around him if I were either of you. Don't be left alone in a room with him by yourselves. And certainly, if he offers you a drink and you're by yourself, don't take it.
Really?
Yes. Have you been to his house? Surely, if
Yeah.
so, you have seen that he surrounds himself with creatures of beauty. He enjoys the finer things, both material and flesh. Pleasant enough, but, as I said, terrible lecture. Terrible. Why, he even took a pass at me one time. I know. It's disgusting to think, as hideous as I now look.
I think you look beautiful.
I was thinking something was disgusting, but it wasn't you.
Well,
Yes, I think you look beautiful.
well, you're
personally.
kind to say, but I have no misillusions as to
No,
how
I mean it. I wish I could have your scarification.
Yeah, you have to
well, I can
understand,
certainly
he's-
help you there if you'd like.
Please do.
Oh,
You'll
weird
accept
thing
it.
to
You'll
say,
take it.
Matthew
You'll take
Bain.
No,
This is
I
actually a
that's-
match made.
I mean, I can't stop staring. I mean, beauty.
You'll have to
I'm not-
excuse
I'm
him.
not-
He's
I'm
under
not-
the impression that
No, I'm not being mocking or I'm being
harming
sincere.
oneself is glorifying to all.
Don't think she did it to herself.
And
No offense.
lining himself up with the other end of whatever you're flailing around certainly appeals to him.
Mhm.
An odd fellow, but a bit of a genius. Once blew up at night.
Blew
in his
up.
armor. He was a cultist of Korn. They were doing a ritual down in the
Oh,
basement of Ulrich.
well, in
and
that case, very well done. Very well done indeed.
He like imploded and exploded at the same
I
time.
raise
It
my
was really
flagon
cool.
to you, sir.
Aren't we all in a constant state of imploding and exploding?
That's one way to sum
Um,
up digestion, yeah.
This group of adventurers, you said one of their party had left town?
The wizard.
Well, as I said, it was only words that I heard, but I'd heard that one of them was a wizard who had discovered some form of ritual, but the group had disbanded. One thing I did hear was one of them was an elf, but he had left the city and gone to Ulthwan, so I doubt he is around. But you might look for the wizard or any of his other members of the party. I'm sorry I don't have names or descriptions other than brief information.
Guys,
no, the
out of
information is
character.
more than we had.
When we got here, didn't we see an elf? Or am I thinking of somewhere else?
There was an elf in the tavern.
Elf at the tavern who was, drinking champagne and being a general
Elf.
Yeah.
He was being so elfy.
He was being so freaking Ponsley.
So very elfish.
So normal.
Yeah, like easy to get along with.
Yeah, sure.
These two.
Yeah, I don't know how else I can help you.
No, this has been so helpful already. This
And
is more
frankly, the
information than we had.
company.
Yeah, I love all that.
Perhaps you could help us pacify the other witch hunter who seems to have it in for your friend, for Conrad?
Well, first of all, Conrad is not exactly a friend. As I said, just an acquaintance.
Well, fair enough.
And,
I mean,
while I believe he is no proponent of chaos, I have no particular interest to get involved in anything where he is concerned, especially against a fellow witch hunter, and especially not one as so mentally unstable as Gotri Hammerfist. I wish I could tell you more about him other than the fact that I hear he's quite mad. Although the
You've never
last
worked
time
together?
I saw him, he was in the accompaniment of another noble, Elizabeth Bayon.
Oh, shit. She hates commoners. She thinks they're gross.
She hates more than just commoners, believe me. The woman is quite above her station. She's a terrible snob and thinks that anybody that battles with dark forces years ago is beneath her. At some point in the past, she had a scuffle with chaos and now thinks that that makes her some kind of renowned hero and everybody else is beneath her. Wish I could give you an introduction, but she's not very fond of me. Because again, apparently I have ideas above my station frequently too. That being said, as obnoxious as the woman is, Gotri Hammerfist is equally obnoxious, and that's why they get along. If you're looking for information about him, perhaps if you can swallow your pride and suffer the woman's incessant insults, might weasel some information out of her.
Well, that's no problem on my front. I don't care. Tell me all you want.
What are the odds that she just needs a good backhand?
I believe she needs a good something, but it's probably not a backhand. Although, has something to do with her being on her back.
I thought that's what you were getting at.
Hey, Odette.
Yes.
Okay, Theodora is officially my favorite.
Yeah, I love her. Oh my god.
So, Odette, you want to be a witch hunter, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, get on beautiful over there's a good graceless.
Shoot your shot.
I like 2 seconds.
I've already got an introduction to the witch hunters.
Yeah, but this will be like a further boost.
You said she's already got one.
Use the boost to get through.
Wait, you do have a letter of introduction?
Well, not like a letter of introduction. I have it as a career exit already. That was my that's my favor. I'm sorry. That was my favor I got from the church.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I have to be able to join the witch hunters. I chose not to because I didn't want to misbalance our team. But Aldette 100% has already talked her way into having a witch hunter career path.
Yeah, I have one career before it, but then I'm going into witch hunter, and it's going to be the coolest thing if I don't die.
Yeah, I just didn't want to misbalance us because it's too far ahead.
So I'm going to look at Theodora.
But there's a lot. The thing with the way that this game works is it kind of balances itself because the number of advancements you would have to get to fill that career from where you're at are massive.
I know, but Aldette just wants to be a witch hunter.
So I'm going to stand up and look at Theodora and say, have witch hunters, and I mean this purely theoretically, hypothetically, yes, that's the word, ever been at odds with each other? Like, didn't like each other or fought each other?
Well,
we're
people
all wanted
the same as anybody else. We don't all see eye to eye.
Is it like
some of us are more zealous than others? Some like to find more evidence, while others would tend to look for things much more loosely on the surface, as it were.
But is it like a law within your institution to not interfere with each other, even if you disagree or have different methodologies?
There is a sort of unwritten code to some degree, yes. But at the same time, it's not uncommon for witch hunters to fall down the ruinous Powers Road. Therefore, it is not also uncommon for other witch hunters to have to reel them in.
I took that completely different. It's not uncommon for them to fall, if you get my drift.
Huh. Interesting.
I'll punch you.
You
in the eye,
mentioned
say you
the
fell in
Order
kitchen.
Fidalis. One of the things that they specialize in is consider them a sort of internal affairs for witch hunters. After all, someone has to hunt the hunter from time to time.
They gave that impression, so I'm not surprised.
Well. That's Aldette here. She is ready and able.
What order are you from?
No particular order. Self-proclaimed and just a follower of devout Sigmarian religion. Doing my part. As I said, it was more of a evolution to the sort of work that I began doing, really.
I see. That's probably going to be scribbling notes at this point. Like, trying to figure out how to make this work.
You just do it yourself, and nobody can question you. Okay.
You're a free agent.
Yeah, I'm definitely looming over Aldette, reading what she's scribbling.
Yes,
She's
as a young
making
girl, I
notes.
found I was brought here to the Empire by my family. Unlike everybody else around us, I was not born and raised here, but I have performed most of my careers here.
How many of what was how? We don't know the names, and I understand that. Do you know how many were in the party that possibly knew the ritual to destroy said artifacts?
I
Were they,
don't,
like-
I'm afraid. All I know for certain was there was allegedly one wizard and one elf. The rest of the makeup of the party and their number was not known to me.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone you can recommend us talk to get more information? You think?
Well,
I would.
As I said, if you're trying to find more about Goatree Hammerfist, talk to the Boehner woman. If not, it would seem that you already are familiar with friends of mine, so there's nobody else I can really think of that you could talk to. I know a good priestess at the Temple of Sigmar, should you need a favor there. But again, we are more business contacts than friends. We just both operate in the same circles for the same reasons. But if it would be of use to you, later today I will probably meet with some of my former contacts, and I could let them know that should one of them see a member of that party that they talked about before, to let me know so I can send word that they're still in the city.
That would be incredibly helpful.
Where
Yes,
are you staying?
Further even.
The burning table, not camel or chair, table.
The Burning Table.
Yes. Across the river.
What name should I have any message sent for?
What name did we put on the room?
Cadorel. No.
Cadil Rel, fair
Well,
enough.
it's being Frederick is subsidizing.
he's-
Fre-
No, it's under our
Frederick's
name
got the
now.
receipts, but
We're the penthouse suite.
yeah, we've taken the entire top floor.
Well, if I send anything there, I'll leave it in your name under Cadilrel. Just be sure to ask the innkeeper if anything's been left for you.
Maybe we should show her one of the
Appreciate it.
marks.
Ask.
Oh yes, the assassination.
People that tried to kill us.
Oh, right. I have those. That will pull out the 3 remaining marks of the cult.
Okay.
There was an assassin who tried to kill us while we were staying here, and these were left on him.
Yes. Not
Do you
an
know anything
uncommon
about
thing.
this?
Welcome to the life of chaos hunting.
Oh,
Do
I'm
you know
sure it
anything
won't
about
be the
this
first time that somebody tries to murder you because of your public
it wasn't the first
opposition.
time.
And it
No,
won't
no.
be the last.
We were ambushed before, after I got pee on me. In the alleyway near.
It's happened twice since we've been in this town.
The murder, not the pee.
Happened.
Do people tend
Yes.
to urinate on you in public frequently?
Just
Just
it's a
him.
bizarre thing. It's almost a miracle.
Well, I had a beast helm on, so I think they were aiming for it. Like
Right,
I don't think they were aiming at all. They were just throwing it out the window.
Is-
no, they were aiming. It's a,
Wrong place, wrong time. And people sent specifically to find
But don't
us,
worry.
trying to kill us, yes?
All of those agents, the second tier survivors of the cult we destroyed in Mindenheim, are also dead. One's burned in the fireplace. Good times.
That's a little bit gross. You don't need to go that far.
We
into the
don't have any
details on
proof that they
again.
were all together.
Is
No,
there
that's
anything that we
true.
can do for you, since you're doing so much to assist us?
You have
No,
full-blown
not really.
seals on your door.
There's nothing that you need or
No,
would like?
I'm quite comfortable
capable.
and retired. All I ask is to do your best not to involve me directly with anything.
Oh,
I'd rather you didn't tell people other than those necessary that you've spoken to me.
Of course. We can do that.
Fair enough.
I really don't want to have to watch my back any longer for chaos cultists and hired assassins. When I first moved here, I had quite a problem with such things, but enough of them have died at my doorstep at this point to where they don't tend to bother so much now.
Yes, I appreciated the wards that you have employed on your door.
Oh,
Top
well,
tier.
yes, they came at great expense, I don't mind telling you. I had considered having them refreshed, but haven't had to this last 6 to 8 months, so I think they might have got the message.
You do have a taste for ales, no?
I do. It's still
It's
one
still-
pleasure that I allow myself.
Do we still have access to those other recipes?
We still have drinks, I think. Don't we still have bottles?
At least that could be a gift, yes? We've
Well,
been a great help.
I mean, Catarel, I do have 3 of the recipes, but Odette said not to give them away.
It's
Not the recipes.
Quiet, secluded
Don't
life.
give the recipes. Why would
Ah.
you give the recipes?
Why would I keep the recipes?
Well, do we have any bottles left then?
We have bottles left, yes.
Okay.
Well,
then
we definitely
perhaps
would have
some of
brought
those.
one for her, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
We've been giving them out as gifts whenever we get introduced, so.
Didn't I I think I used them all. I mean, I gave them to the Thayer guy, right?
Did
Not
you
all
give
of
him
them. You gave them
all
all
of
of
them?
one kind. You gave them like all of one kind.
Yeah.
We had like 6 kinds of
Oh, well,
things.
I don't have any more in my list. So you guys must have them because I don't anymore.
I mean, you have
Those
been getting
gaming
through them,
versions.
so I don't know. You may not have any more, but you also might.
No,
so.
I when I don't have anything, I delete it from my list.
I know we had at least 3 different kinds, and we've only gone through one of those kinds, but I don't know. Because somebody
it
took
would be
them
in
out
your
of.
inventory, not mine.
No, they took them out of my inventory because it didn't make logical sense for the halfling to carry.
I think it was the hef.
They were
that I
too
was, like,
big.
obsessed with. I think it was the Hefeweizen. I probably have a couple bottles here. I don't think I took it down on my sheet because it was a one-off.
I know. I just have the recipes on mine. I took recipes.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll for argument's sake, let's just say that you've got a couple of bottles of a couple of types left. Then,
Okay.
Okay.
so if you want to
They should
gift
go
her with
here.
something,
I'm just gonna say that to the party. I think they should go here.
We'll give her one of the bottles, yes.
okay. Well, she will greatly appreciate it.
And if
Well,
we ever find more in another haunted brewery along the way,
Oh, I always appreciate a good ale. As I said, there's not a lot else I can tell you. If you're looking for Elizabeth Bayern, I can tell you where you might find her. Needless to say, it would surprise you not that she frequents the Gorgon, which if you haven't had the privilege, is an extremely expensive and elite club that sits inside a walled estate. And then herself in a pompous, locked behind her pompous manor walls, in her own walled estate. I know where she lives if you would like the address. As I said,
Yes,
it would do
thank
little
you.
to no worth for me to give you a letter of introduction. If I did, it would probably ensure that you weren't seen. I wouldn't recommend mentioning that you are familiar with me, at least. Although, dropping Lord Frederick's name might at least get you some level of favour.
thank you for that. That's incredibly helpful. We could even go back to him and just ask. He's quite fond
Yeah,
of us.
I also have notes about her that her family is losing their wealth. So we can use that somehow.
Well, she will tell you that the easiest way to get there is if you head south from here, all the way to the wall. Follow it to the next main street over, and you will find it.
Write us hate mail for us to show at the door.
What's up, bitch?
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Don't tell these people anything. They suck. Theodora personally unrecommended us.
Said that you suck eggs. So if you don't suck eggs, then get out here.
The first thing we did when we met her was Odette got behind her and I pushed.
But yeah, there's her house
the manner
right
of
here.
speaking has been
All
both
right.
elegant and plain all at once. It's been terribly refreshing to speak to someone who just says as it is.
We're gonna thank Theodora, obviously, and leave.
Mhm.
And,
Okay.
And on the way, I'm gonna saddle up to Bertilda and say, "So, what are we gonna do about your paramour?"
We're probably going to assassinate Maximilian.
Fine with me, but we could start by rescuing her
Shit.
from her
She seems to
situation.
be trapped.
Yeah, but a ledge like that, you know, you can promise her, I don't know, all the gold that we don't need to use. Maybe a
I
beer
know you-
recipe.
So you guys specified that it was like, an aside. Would you prefer I roll to see if I can hear you guys talking with my elven ears, or can I chime in?
I am absolutely not being subtle or quiet
Okay.
because I don't know how to be anymore.
What if,
Or at least he doesn't care to be.
I don't care to be anymore.
What if instead, with our new knowledge of our own friends, the Order of Fidelis, what if we ask them perhaps to police them? A bit of a witch hunter's arrest.
Of who?
Well, we have the Order of Fidelis kind of as friends, I suppose. Uneasy friends, but friends no less.
Catarel, I'm talking about Thayer and Bertilda's suite.
Oh, I was more thinking we could possibly do something mission related to getting this settled so we don't all die in a few days.
I mean, is there really any rush?
A few days. Gotrig is off his rocker. From everyone I've talked to about him, the Church of Sigmar doesn't trust him. Conrad Messner certainly doesn't. And even Theodora, who seems to have the most true eye on the subject.
I have to say, who and what people trust around any place doesn't speak volumes
Terrible
anymore.
volumes, sure, but in terms of what we could do to achieve our goals, if his uncanny lack of reasoning behind his constant pestering of Conrad Messner were an issue brought up to, say, a more zealous branch of witch hunters more true to the cause, it might be possible we could get him taken in by his own kind for corrections.
Why is everybody so quick to believe that Conrad's not?
I was about to say the exact same thing.
He's a College of Light.
Just because somebody.
Okay, we
always-
just fought a deputy high priest that was over like the whole church.
Deputy High Priest.
That's precisely what I was thinking as well. is that-
Look. Really smart people, academics, don't go mad. It's not a thing that happens.
It is.
No, absolutely not. Because I'm
Remember
the smartest
the thing
person
where we said-
here and we're all good. So Conrad is
There
trustworthy.
are so many
All
things
good is
that
not
I
the
am.
words I would use. Pretty much
There was more than
doomed.
one part of that conversation and statement that I found incorrect.
Look, Conrad is fine, okay?
We
He's
don't know that.
he's an academic.
I believe we should
Okay.
approach the situation with caution. Is what I believe. I don't think we should trust any of them.
Well,
However, it is good to know that historically he has been fighting against chaos. It does not mean that he currently is, but it does mean that
We've met more than one person that historically fought against chaos and evil.
This is true.
As a quote of Theodora, I believe it was, if I saw him skinning babies in a street, I would need a second opinion.
That made me a little uncomfortable. I believe a second opinion in that case might not be
That's how
necessary.
witch hunters talk all the time.
It's,
But you want to be.
Euphemistic speech, yes. You're going to have to learn some of these.
Yes, but like, do you?
Like if I shoot someone on Fifth
you're a witch
Avenue,
hunter,
you know?
If you're a witch hunter, do you need a second opinion in that situation? You shouldn't need a second opinion.
Maybe the babies are chaos spawns. It happens.
It's to express that, you know, there is a level of trust and understanding there that wouldn't be the case. And if somebody said that, then, like, I don't think that's necessarily true. It doesn't seem character of him. That's all I was suggesting. I feel like I'm explaining something to someone smart, and I should probably stop.
Because she's not smart. Wait, what?
No, Odette's very smart.
Look, Odette, if he
Yes.
was sacrificing babies in public, maybe the babies were chaos babies. Those
Okay,
things
so-
exist. We've seen crazier crap. I
We've
read it in a book.
also run
So-
into witch hunters that mentioned that they would likely kill you if you were in contact with a chaos artifact, just in case. Okay? And yet, why do we have this seasoned witch hunter like Theodora being not?
Because she's beautiful, and so we can trust her. Also,
I'm not listening to you.
she's
anymore.
acquaintances.
Odette!
Wait, no, she's acquaintances to Conrad, friends to Frederick. We like Frederick. We trust Frederick. We were introduced to Frederick from the Dieter guy. We were okay with him. So all those trustworthy.
You
No.
do have a bit of a pedigree, yes.
Yeah, it's like art being their provenance, right? They bring each other into the level.
You are so quick to forget how we trusted people and
In Middenheim.
had them.
Okay, who
stab
did
us
we
in the
trust
back
in Middenheim?
repeatedly.
Who did we trust in
Church of
Middenheim?
Sigmar, and then I got a badge from the Awakening.
Blessed Sigma.
The Fidalis group. Do we trust them? I mean, who did we trust
we
in
didn't really
Middenheim?
trust Fidalis that much, did we?
No, we
were very
didn't.
wary
We
of
tried
them.
not to trust them, and they were probably the most trustworthy of all of the
Look,
people
I'm
we
just
dealt with.
saying, we know that he is in possession of at least one chaos artifact.
I just would like to put it out there that, in my opinion, no one is above corruption if they are in contact with artifacts of chaos.
I agree with that.
And so, to blanketly assume that because historically he has fought against chaos, that he is immune to corruption, I think is a very dangerous thought.
Well, even Theodora suggested that witch hunters, after all the fighting they do against chaos, eventually
Yes,
can
and
succumb.
she said that was goat trees.
It's
Okay,
goat
we're not
trees,
talking about
not
him right now.
trees.
We're talking about the light wizard
no,
that
have
everybody
to be-
wants
just
to
really-
almost,
really quick.
almost said
because
something way
We are
inappropriate
talking
for the
about him a
stream.
lot. His name is Gottfried, not
Whatever,
goat-
I don't-
goat trees.
I don't care. Look,
Okay, that's fine. Yes, we'll just have enough to him then.
I'm not saying that we should blanketly trust the witch hunters. I think that we should treat all of them with suspicion because all of them have the ability to be in contact with chaos artifacts and therefore are not above corruption from those artifacts.
you want to be one.
Yes.
My
I just don't think we
counter-argument,
should blanket trust any of them.
If I may, a counter argument. Messner does not trust us to destroy the artifact.
Right.
Maybe he doesn't want us.
He
to
needs
destroy the
evidence that
artifact.
we can destroy the artifact before he'll even begin to hand it over.
Right.
This is an errand we're running.
That
for
is
him
what
on
he's
the side.
telling us.
To
However-
develop trust and also just do him a favor payment for,
How do you
allowing
know
us to
that?
destroy the thing.
How do you know that once we have this proof of, look, here is the ritual, he's not going to just destroy the ritual that could destroy the artifact that he wants to possess? We don't know.
We'll make a copy.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm
we
just
could
saying we have
leave
to
that
treat
information with
everyone.
others.
Okay,
We
what
have
if
to
he
treat
kills
everyone
us too?
with suspicion.
Right. And we do treat everyone famously with such overt suspicion that they find a distaste for us and we're described as a strange group of adventurers instead of the heroic one.
Meddlers.
Yes,
I
meddlers.
believe that we can get along well with people and not let them know of our suspicion, but we should still, when it's just us,
Look,
be completely aware of the fact that all of them could be
Also,
corrupted.
As a side note, is anybody else offended by being called meddlers when constantly we are being told to go do stuff that we...
I'm just...
it's just
I'm
an
blanketly annoyed that we are
Just
I
being
feel like
told to
we're,
do
we're the
things.
meddlies. Like, people keep meddling in us.
We are being
look.
used
It's
to meddle in
it's
affairs.
it's just an honorific. Doesn't mean anything. Look,
No, we are being used to meddle in other people's affairs because they don't want to do it themselves.
have been putting in work, fostering friendships with these people in this place, so I could eventually convert them to Ulrich. And I'm not going to have our let's suspect everyone to get in the way of my efforts. I gave the helm to Frederick. I gave the drinks to Thayer, who's a lech, who we can assassinate now, just to save your girl. You know, that took work, and that was really difficult. And I deserve to convert them, to punish them accordingly to, you know,
okay, you
the
had me
standards.
until you started going on something else. The minute Matthew
don't
Banks
want-
says punish.
I don't want to undermine your efforts. I want us to survive. I want us to find this artifact, and I want us to destroy it so that everyone will stop telling us to go here and do this, and that we can get on with our own lives and our own paths where we can go and do the heroics that we want to do. I just don't like being told that we have to do this by everyone else. So I agree. I don't like being called meddlers because we are being used as meddlers, but
We're just doing what they told us to do.
yes, Matthew Bain?
You don't like being called a meddler? Isn't that like your expertise?
I don't like it whenever I'm not doing it of my own accord. I like meddling when I am allowed to meddle in ways that I want to meddle. But ever since I've joined this group, and ever since we've been in this city and the other, we have been told what to do, and we have been persuaded or blackmailed into doing things for the City Watch, for this church, for that church. All these human religions have been pushing us to do things, and then we ended up getting tied up in the whole court affairs. We got tied up in all of the chaos fighting, and I would much prefer it to be on my terms.
What if we do that?
Well, in order to do that, we have to get rid of these artifacts, because they are what is currently tying us to the churches.
Okay, this is my suggestion. We're by the
Yes.
wall. Let's take a 5-minute break to relax, collect our thoughts,
Yeah.
and then
Shay
we'll
have
go.
to pee.
I'm not the one who needs to pee. It's Fetch. Fetch is dying.
I see it.
I just saw all that.
So we'll take a pee break and recome.
That's a good idea. Let's do that. Let's do that thing that we do when we take a break, because apparently somebody needs to take a break. Okay, so you took your 5-minute respite, pissed against the wall, and then carried on walking down to Milady's house. Okay.
I'm not ready for this.
See. Oh, right. So, it is a large walled estate, size-wise to easily rival that of Lord Frederick's. Huge, big walls with 3-foot kind of wrought iron posts with spikes on the top go all the way around, offering plenty of security. When you arrive, the gates are locked and chained. There is indeed a large bell, however, that you can ring, but no easy way into the place is visible. At least from the front.
They always expect you to come in from the front.
Casey, I just got like this airplane flashback where it's like, should we turn on the lights on the runway? That's what they'll expect us to do.
No, that's just what they're expecting us to do.
Yeah, so I'm going to look at the party and just shrug. Bell?
Who do we
The bell?
send for this?
I believe we either have to dress up or dress down.
She despises the common.
She despises the common because they're uppity.
Kind of sound like she despises everybody, so I don't think that we can lose no matter what we do.
Wait, you want to pass as nobility?
We could.
You think we could pull that off? Okay, let's try it.
I think
all of
Aldette
us.
can pull that off. I don't know.
And that's the thing is like.
I mean, I'm pretty shiny. Other than that, I can
You would
pretend to be her bodyguard.
Yeah, I was going to say you could be a bodyguard or a hired muscle at that point.
That's about all I can do. I can't read.
Or maybe
I can
just,
drink and I can guard bodies. That's.
I drink and I punch things.
you were a local strong talent that Aldette found intriguing and had to pay to, take away from the life she had otherwise lived.
I just don't know if approaching as nobility would be the best option.
I write a lot of fanfic.
So you want to appeal to her ego?
I don't know which way would get us more information. We either allow her to talk down to us and she risks overindulging information because she thinks that we aren't smart enough to do anything with the information.
If we appear common to her, then we can beg to be hearing of the heroic tales of that one time she encountered the one chaotic thing in her life, the once that she happens to and probably didn't have anything to do with overcoming, but was there for.
Or we can act like pretentious douchebags and maybe she'll feel intimidated or like we don't give a shit what she thinks, then maybe. I mean, Theodora, or hear me out. Catarrhal, you're not bad looking for an elf. And Theodora did say she needed a little bit of the D.
A little bit of the E. E's are good. E's are good. Elf E's are good.
Perhaps if we were travelers who came a long way to meet with her after hearing about her, she would be flattered enough to see us. I think it might actually be best, however, to split our strategy both. That one set of us
if
might
one
be
doesn't
noble,
work, that's
and
not a
one
bad
set
idea.
of us might be common, in hopes that she would appeal to at least one of these. We might have to spread it out over a day, however.
It would be unusual to have both visitors in the same day.
However,
Actually,
over 2 days it might seem a little more reasonable.
let me see what I have in my kit. Have I got all of my stuff? Okay. I have common clothes, good clothes, best clothes, assassin's clothes, and brewer's clothes. I could probably disguise myself.
I have a set of fine clothes and also the things that I usually wear, which are the fine clothes.
Yes, well, I mean,
I have armor.
my career is trying to disguise myself and be what I'm not.
So you'd be a shoe-in for the nobility bit.
And
But
I
I think
am
I
what
could
I am,
probably
and
do
that's all that
both.
I am.
Yeah, I only have common clothing, so.
Well, I don't mean this in any way that would cast aspersions, but and of course Matilda, understand I don't mean this in any way that would I actually am apologetic in this case that I would pair you with Macrophone, but the two of you do strike more a common sort in your mannerisms than Odette and I.
Odette's gonna like grab your arm for a second. Please remember what happened last time they went together.
Right, but this
Wait,
is
what happened last time? What
different
happened?
pretense where they would be expected to behave.
Wait, what are we talking about? Odette, look at Odette. Like, what?
I think she's talking about the acid penis.
I remember it being snaky and unreasonable. Yes. I don't think that would
We
happen.
did try to intimidate a dude.
And I don't think
Oh yeah, Jesus, that was so long ago.
I forgot that's how it started.
Yeah.
Me too.
And
I
Odette
think
said she was
that'll
never
be-
leaving you two alone together again.
Oh my
Like, that was
God,
what she
Nat, that
promised
memory
herself.
you got. I'm so
holy
impressed.
shit.
Yeah, Odette was like, we're never
All
leaving you
I
two alone
remember,
again.
yeah, all I remember was acid penis, steak, the steak dick. That's
God,
it.
but
It's
it's
like
like
I don't
Odette
remember.
went away
Trying
for the
to-
whole thing and showed up at
whole-
the end and was like, what have you done? You guys are not allowed to be alone together ever again. This is terrible.
Well, they won't be alone. They'll be in a situation where they have to at least behave as if they were commoners without any arcane talents or abilities to just totally ruin the mundane. And
Okay.
just saying they would pass for
Okay.
the common sort if it
But
weren't for
what
their
what would
other
our
talents,
what
apparently.
would our role be within your convoy?
Well, I'm
We're
thinking
having
if you
separate
could
convoys.
come to see her as
Oh.
the great noble that she perceives herself to be, without any pretext of who you might be, but rather just those there to, I guess, witness and worship her and give her some sense of grand delusion that she seems to depend on, from what we've heard. Then she might be a little loose with what she has to say, and then we could sneak in some information gathering about Gertrude and what she thinks of him.
I'm a little
Possibly.
concerned. I mean, Odette's not wrong. We don't have the best track record, the two of us, and I don't talk so good. And Matthew Bain might start talking about whipping herself and being true to Ulrich or some shit, and that scares me. Like, even if she were listening to us, what do we do?
And that's my concern. Once she sees us, she's going to know who we are. We aren't going to be able to do that. It's a gamble, that's why I'm just thinking we could cover bases, but my concern is Matthew Bain starts whipping himself in front of her, she might...
I have not whipped myself in front of people. I've talked about wanting to whip myself in front of people
Right.
and
Which
have
is
them be a part
arguably
of it.
Like, just as bad.
She might
Mr.
get off to
Whippy.
that, though.
Just
That's-
be glad.
That's my gamble here, actually, is that she might get off to that. She does fancy herself quite higher than other people, and
So
seeing
you-
someone
so-
who views himself so lower,
You offer to let her do it. Got it.
well,
I think-
whatever it takes to get whatever information we can. Again,
I mean-
we die in a few days.
Oh, that's what we do. She despises common folk, so we offer me as a person to be punished by her.
And it gets you both off. It's perfect.
Well, I'm not going to get off on it. I deserve it. I mean, for Ulrich's sake, you know.
Right, that's one way of saying what
He
I just said.
deserves
It's
it.
the same thing. But then the other end of it, if that's not going to work, which I'm almost certain it won't, but it's better a chance to have a subsidiary 25% chance after a 50% chance fails. Which is what I'm seeing with me and Odette trying this as nobility. She has no reason really to welcome us. We don't have a recommendation unless we go back to Maximilian. And
Oh, Frederick.
Frederick, yes. If we go back to Frederick with it and get a recommendation from him or an introduction from him, she'll be like, oh, well, fellow nobility who think they've fought chaos, well, I'm better than them somehow. Oh no, it's 22:30, my phone's going off and I don't know where it is.
What?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I have an alarm set for 22:30. It goes off every day, but I'm too lazy to get rid of it.
What if we tell the truth?
The trouble with that is she doesn't seem to exist in reality, and truth-telling seems most befitting those like Theodora who would be willing to hear the truth as they're not afraid of it. Fear, this woman is afraid of reality. Her estate is crumbling around her. She's squandering in some sort of noble way. But without her self-perceived significance in a battle against chaos and the ability to spend a lot of money really easily, she doesn't have much worth to herself, does she? Giving her the truth on that, not always a great time. And I'm not great at reconciling the truth with other people's fantasies because they're all just gonna die in a couple of years and it's kind of a waste of time.
Yes, they're all gonna die. I can agree with you on that.
At that point, they might as well do whatever Macubane's saying. So...
Or she's been in contact with Chaos before. If we tell her, if this stuff gets together, and then she's going to explode out of her skin, just like us. So she's got to help us.
Right. And if you can do
Truth.
that, fantastic. But I think the talents of Odette are our greatest chance here. And with the, uncommonality of an elf and a halfling companion sharing a desire to meet with someone, that might have enough novelty to at least get us in the door.
Kat, I know you said you didn't want to offend me, but so far you've said that I'm a pretty common person, and I'm not that unique because I'm a human. I'm starting to feel a little underappreciated here.
I'm trying to base it purely off of someone who's just met you. I've seen you deflect blows that would have decapitated me fully without even shrugging. You are a stalwart hero in your own regard. However, this is a social sphere, and as charming and familiar as your manner of speaking is to me and people who grew up among you...
There's something wrong with the way I speak?
No, there's something terribly endearing about it. I don't want to get into too much because it's a little embarrassing for an elf to admit. But
look, it's Catarel. Stop waffling. You're not in love with Bertilda. You're in love with Odette, and you're showing it. You're showing your favoritism. Bertilda, you're fine. Your paramour at Thayer's place will be glad when you rescue her. You'll take her on a nice dinner. Then you'll die in a few years, and it'll all be good anyway, right? Okay? Everyone feel better?
To make me feel better, Matthew Bain.
He's doing his best with his limited circumstance. He is the lesser elf. God, I am quite rude to you all, aren't I?
Yes, well, I do think that splitting our chances is the best course of action. I don't exactly know that I am the best option for success. I think that honestly, if she thinks highly of someone, she's going to be much more guarded with her speech. Whereas if she thinks that we are beneath her, she will be much more flippant, thinking and underestimating us. So I do think that there is a very strong likelihood that by appearing beneath her and allowing her to believe that, she is going to give us information that we would not otherwise get.
Okay, Odette, just tell me what to do.
Yeah, just tell us what to do.
I think so. Do we want to approach this as them seeking her story, or are we looking for they saw her with poetry and are trying to get in with him or information from him? How are we wanting to approach this for them?
I think for them, being baseline admirers after hearing rumor of her exploits as she sees them, and playing up that they have no experience with chaos, and would love to hear more of what she has to say. As she does deal with a witch hunter, she'll soon fall on that information to fill in the gaps where she doesn't actually have experience. So
Okay,
the
do we
dumber
know
they play
anything?
it, the better.
Do we know anything about her exploits?
Other
She
than
destroyed a whole cult. That's literally all I have. I have noble woman thinks common people are gross. Destroyed a chaos cult in her youth. Family is losing wealth/station.
Okay.
hangs out at the Gorgon, which is a pretty cool club for rich
I'm
people
going
who do dumb shit.
to. I could create a flyer that either encourages information or it could call into question if she actually did defeat the cult. And they could bring the flyer to her saying it's being circulated. Do you think we should have one that is touting her successes and they come as admirers, or have one that is asking if she actually did it and calling her out as a fraud and they came attempting to set it right because they know that she's not a fraud?
I think it'd be better almost. Oh, shoot. Wait. See, I'm trying to understand from a more mental standpoint. For an elf, it would just be expected that with reputation and continual success, it'd be recognized in the short period of time that she has to prove herself. Calling that into question might be more powerful.
Okay. I'll make a flyer that's like, it has like her name on it. It's like defeated a chaos cult, but did she really? Like, big question. Very inflammatory. I'll have a couple of them. I'm gonna make a couple of them because I have a ton of paper that I've just been hoarding this whole time, and I'm supposed to be doing this sort of stuff anyway. And then I'll like have a couple of them that I like kind of crumple and kind of cover in dirt so it looks like they fell on the ground or something. So like you guys have collected them.
No.
Yes.
How about you make those flyers
Yes.
and then you bring me to her and I have them and I'm the one who's been distributed them. And we're at odds with each other. And you use me as leverage and I just spout my obscenities and all that crazy talk. And you use me as that. Like, look what's happening.
I fear that anyone in that position would just tell their hired guard to escort this noise off of the premise.
But you could use me as your in.
You might
to get
end
on
up
our
in
good side.
prison. You might end up in prison at this.
So, who cares?
I don't disagree with.
Wait, he might? Yeah, let's do that.
He might die?
That's a great option.
Free of
No, so I go to prison. You just get Frederick to bail me out. It's all good, you know. We got in with powerful people.
Is that how the prison system works here?
I think it's.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Who you know. Well, we already know that people, the guards get bribed, right? Like.
Here are the flyers. I'm going to give them to Bertilda.
What are the odds that she already knows we're here?
Just look up at the window of the estate.
I've been watching you for the last 30 minutes.
It's over the wall. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Theodora knew we were here. She didn't know immediately who we were, but she knew of us.
We were coming in a group, though. So, like, they would know us as our group, not as individuals.
Look, I'm telling you, the best end to her good graces is to find someone who's like you could vilify.
So
I'd be willing to be vilified for you.
I will give the flyers to Bertilda.
Yes, give them to the person who can't read.
No, absolutely. Like, you know what they say, though. I would have told you exactly what they say. If you believe it best to go in at odds, I will trust you on this. Or you can just bring them to her seeking to help put it to right because you know that she is the hero that the stories claim.
Flattery and self-deprecation are going to be your two real weapons here.
I will go and spend time trying to find information about the other party that's been in town. I can try to see if anybody's heard of anything while you guys do this, and then we can trade information when we get back together.
And I'll watch the rendezvous until then, which is where exactly? Should probably be closer by then.
It's way down there by the outer wall looking
Church
thing.
of Sigmar then, or Ulrich, which would we prefer? They're both kind of equidistant to where we've been staying and the rest of the city, I suppose.
Are we all comfortable with this?
No, but we're gonna do it anyway.
To be fair, Oldet's also not fully comfortable with this, but it does seem like the best option.
Well, we all know
Logically.
that Bertilda's like tactics is always, what if we tell the truth? So,
Kind
I
of
know.
counting on that later into the conversation, but we'll see.
Yeah. I also like that it's you two together again. Like, there's a part of me that's horrified, and a part of me that's like super intrigued and ready for this.
oh, what could possibly go wrong?
Everything, I hope.
That's almost a given.
So
All right,
what is your actual game plan? What are we doing?
Oldet is gonna go find a
hardly
bar.
know.
Oldet's gonna go find a bar and gossip.
Okay.
Caterel is going to basically do penance at the Church of Sigmar, waiting for everyone else to show up, having told everyone that's where he'd be, as a rendezvous point after everyone else is done with theirs.
Okay. Leaving Bertilda and Matthew Bain.
To go suck up to some bitchy lady.
You also
To-
don't have to use the flyers if you don't want to.
Well, I mean that's the idea
It's
is
a good
we
prop. It's
go
a-
there with the flyers saying we found people distributing this, questioning your loyalty. We kick their ass, and there we
Yeah,
go.
Oldet just wants you to know that like she gives you full permission to make the decision.
Do whatever you need to do to
She
get on
trusts
the
you. She
inside.
gave them to you, and it's like, I think this is the best, but I trust you to make this decision and go in like you want to.
Okay.
She's working on trusting her friends.
That's stupid.
I know, but especially Bertilda. She loves Bertilda, so she has to trust her.
So after the other two go away, I'm gonna look to Bertilda and be like, "So my plan or their plan?"
I don't know, Matthew Bain. I feel like if people were good people, they would just want to stop chaos.
Look, it's either we lie for Odette and say we found the culprits who made those flyers, and they were passing slander, and we came to let this lady know that it's happening, or you arrest me, and I had the flyers and was the culprit behind the slander, and that you
feel like
are
she's
going to
gonna
take
care.
down. Either way.
Let's just get in there and see what happens.
Spook, you do know you're talking to a crazy person. You want to leave it up to let's see what happens? Casey, really? That's what you
Bertilda's
wanted?
not a planner, okay? She just believes in like just telling the truth, and everything's gonna turn out right because Ulrich says it's gonna happen, okay? She is taking the Beatles way in, where if everything's gonna be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, then it's not the end.
All will be well.
All right. So
It's the perfect attitude to have when you're playing Warhammer.
with that level of conviction and resolve that Bertilda just demonstrated, I'm going to go to the bell and ring it.
Okay.
Buzz it. Buzz the bell. I don't know. Just buzz the door.
Pretty much, Beta.
All right. So you're wearing your armor. How is Matthew Bain dressed?
He's wearing common clothing.
Commoner's clothes. Okay. How are you both standing at the gate? Like, describe how the two of you are standing there. It's relevant.
I'm standing like this.
Standing at attention. I have no other way to stand.
Okay. Shoulders kind of slumped, kind of nonchalant.
I am trying to embody everything that is a white wolf because I still have it in my mind that I'm telling the truth in some weird way.
Okay. Well, you will see a shutter open, and a shrewd-looking woman peers out. She glances down at the gate, and then she says, "Go away! I do not have time for the likes of you. Go on, off with you!"
No, I'm sorry, ma'am, but this is an urgent matter concerning your public visage.
My what?
Your public image. Your fostered
What about
celebrity.
it? What do you
it's
know
being-
about such things?
It's being slandered in the local pubs and taverns across the city.
I beg pardon.
I'm gonna grab one of the flyers that Bertilda has and like kind of wave it like I'm waving a flag of surrender, like a white flag.
Okay, she kind of squints and stares down at you. What does it say? Quickly now!
You would be talking mad shit, yo.
It says that you did not fight the elements of chaos in your youth and have built your entire reputation on a lie. With really pretty pictures.
He says, "What? Me,
Yes.
sir? Not fight chaos, sir? I very much doubt it, sir. How very dare you?"
No, I'm not saying it. We found it in the tavern. Bertilda's my bodyguard, see? And I'm passing through the local colleges of magic.
Bring it to the door. At once!
The gate's locked. Like, slip it
For
under?
pity's sake! She slams the shutters.
If this fucking works, I swear to
So
God.
she comes, you see the door open, and she
love
comes
this idea.
waddling down in a very fine regaled dress with her hair up in buns, with a huge, big kind of jeweled necklace, big, bulbous gemmed earrings. You'll have to excuse me. My butler is on vacation. It's disgusting that I should have to do this myself.
What a bitch.
She opens the padlock and pulls the chain out. Show this piece of libelous slime to me at once.
I'm gonna proffer it kind of nicely.
Okay. You're like, ugh. She picks it up by the corner if it's kind of. What exactly does it say on this piece of paper?
I probably wrote a couple different ones, but they were saying things like, they would have her name and then be like, eradicated a chaos cult, or did she, built on a kingdom of lies?
So it's a
like,
tabloid.
Basically, yeah. Like, think like the most tabloid type, draw your attention. Like, and it doesn't have anything.
And I hear she's poor too.
Gave birth to an alien baby.
Like, proof or anything. It's
Space
just
lasers.
pictures and like
Space
full
lasers.
on agitator, just making like stuff happen.
You see her eyes bulge out of her head and her face go bright scarlet. How very dare they? She says. This is absurd. Oh, I'll have someone's head for this.
That's what I said right before I punched him in the face.
Thank you for bringing it to me. Here. She offers you a penny.
Penny.
You know,
I'm gonna hold up my hand. Like,
She drops the penny. There you are, boy. Now then, away with you.
we can fix it.
I have work to do.
We have leads
Let us help.
on the culprits who responsible.
But you bore witness to this act.
No. Bertilda punched one of the people who were passing the flyers, and they spoke of a printing press somewhere in this city.
I told him they was lying, that wasn't true, that you was amazing, and
How do you know about me? Of course, the Bain
Everybody
family
knows.
name is renowned and is carried amongst the highest of nobility.
that's what I said.
Yeah, Bertilda's a huge fan. Talks my ear off incessantly. Drives me crazy, you know?
Yes, well,
But listen-
despite the lies written here, my family
Every single one of them.
destroyed a chaos cult several years ago, and don't let the Empire forget it.
Do you maybe you know someone in this city who bore witness, and we could use them to counter the argument on this flyer.
I say it happened, and as a noble lady, my word is beyond repute.
Maybe someone with like a pedigree, you know, like a witch hunter or something.
Oh! Who has more of a pedigree than me, sir?
I'm gonna look at Matthew Bain like I'm offended, and I'm gonna shove him.
With a high pedigree than me, you cast aspersions on me. You of the lowest born common filth. Look at you. You're not even human.
So Bertilda shoves me, right? That's what you.
Yeah, I'm gonna shove Matthew Bain.
So I fall much harder on my ass than probably that shove was, just to sell the force.
Don't speak to Miss Baron like that.
She kind of looks around, bends over, and picks up a small clod of dirt, and then goes and throws it at you. Like
I'm gonna pair dirt too and throw it at him.
I'm just like this, like a supplicant position, like as it goes in my face, just like accepting it.
She says, "Yes, know your place, you
I'm gonna
sullen
spit.
born creature." Okay, she looks at you and she says, "And you,
Yeah,
madam?"
feed into it though. Feed into it. Keep going.
Miss Baron, I've always wanted to be. I know I'll never be as great as you, but I've always dreamed of it, and just being this close to you is like, I never thought it would ever happen.
And what name do you bear, my dear?
Oh, a lowly person like me? You're asking my name? My name is Bertilda.
I don't care about
Rosamund.
your first name. I want to know your last name, your surname, your birth name.
Oh,
What
I'm
house
sure
are you from?
Rosamund, ma'am.
Rosamund.
The Long Island Rosamunds.
I don't
You ever heard of
recall
us?
that name. Don't recall seeing that name in any of the lists or any of the archetypes of nobility.
Oh no, ma'am, you wouldn't have. It's
So I
almost
suppose
profane
you brought
to.
this scallywag here for punishment, did you?
I did actually.
Well, pick him up, bring him in. We'll hold him until till the yeomanry get here to have him arrested.
Just between you and me, if you wanted to whip him a little, I wouldn't say nothing.
What? How dare you whip me? It's from my possession on my knees.
You deserve it for what you insinuated about Miss
With
Barrett.
my butlers
In
here,
Ulrich's name, that'll never happen.
I'd have you flayed alive, but of course, I am too much of a lady to do it myself.
I can do it for you. I'll do anything.
Really?
Whatever-
Come outside. I have a switch. Oh, actually,
Yes.
I have a wrought iron poker.
Even
That'll
better.
do
Let's
the
go.
job.
Let's go.
Bring him in.
Get up. She said get up.
Okay, I'm just gonna like get up sheepishly.
Okay, she's like, this way! And she frumpily stomps down the path into the house. Bring that rapscallion in here!
I'm gonna shove him again. You heard Miss Bjorn. Go.
Okay. Once you walk in the house, the first thing you notice is it's somewhat sparsely decorated. There are a few really nice pieces around, but there are also as many little pedestals with nothing on them that probably at one point bore some kind of art or whatever, but is long since been departed. She very quickly ushers you into a side room, the first one you come to, where there is actually a very nicely decorated room with a warm fireplace and some lovely antique furniture. All the other doors in the hallway, however, are closed. Like, you can't see into any of the other rooms. You also notice that there was once probably a long rug running all the way down the centerpiece of the hallway. Now, there's nothing but a small discoloration to kind of let you know that at one point it was here, but it's long since been removed. Okay, so she ushers you in, and she says, "Now then, should we heat this poker first?
Oh,
Or do
absolutely.
you think we should just give him a few lashes with it as he stands?"
We could do both.
Ulrich will dull the heat that you stoke.
Ulrich be damned!
In Ulrich's name.
So she hands the poker to Batilda. She says, "Oh, go on then, have at you. Give him a good hiding. Beat him around the head and neck. Where show him to slander? What are you waiting for?
I turn around and hold my arms out like Jesus.
You're posing in the middle.
Beat him, woman, beat him."
Priscilla's standing there like, "But I get a +6 wounds to every strike. He's gonna die." Like,
Well, she doesn't have to hit him as hard as she possibly can. But, I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat if you want to sell it.
Like, after she says the Ulrich be damned,
Ulrich's fury
Matthew
hits
Bain
him in
is
the
going
head
to
and
hear me
decapitates
under
him.
my breath. I'm like, I can't do this, Matthew Bain.
Oh shit. Okay, this just got awkward. Huh.
He says, "By damn you, if I was a man, I'd do this myself. But such things are beneath a lady."
I'm standing there frozen. I cannot get past her saying, "Oh, Ulrich be damned."
She's looking at you, she says, "Well? What's the matter, woman? Are you frozen solid? Cat got your tongue? I'm giving him more verbal lashings than you are physical ones. Look at him standing there, wearing that filth. His excuse for clothing. Those nasty pointy ears."
I'm going to begin channeling.
Okay.
And I'm going to, of course, fail because God hates me. Even though it's a tiny thing
Ulrich
I'm trying to do. Ulrich hates me. I'm going to cast a very petty spell.
Okay.
But I'm going to use both my magics. No, that... shit. I'm going to fail this, aren't I? This required a little bell. Channeling success.
big bell,
No. And God, this is. So I'm casting sounds, and I want from a corner of the room, if it succeeds, a voice to like roar loudly.
It does succeed.
And ranging phantom noise, you can choose the type of noise and the volume. So the sound is going to be a voice shouting, "Do not blaspheme Ulrich's name," and it's going to shout the entire room. That's
okay. She will be like, "Oh!" Look around and, "Who said that? Who else is in here?" Well,
I'm going to turn around. I'm going to turn around and try to say Bertilda, who's still frozen. "That was Ulrich himself. You blasphemed, and I am a servant of him. Holy Ulrich, repent!"
Yeah. Give me a
This is going off the fucking Give me a.
it's probably gonna be It's not really an intimidation roll because you're trying to convince her of something, not necessarily.
Well, if it's a fellowship roll, I'm going to fail it.
Well, it's, as I said, it's going to be either a charm roll or a intimidation roll. We'll call it intimidation because it is really, you are trying to do this more out of fear than anything else.
Well, it's the same regardless,
Okay,
and it's really bad. So, do I get any pluses or
I'll
anything?
give you a plus 20 for the success of the spell, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, it's not common for booming voices to appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm going to use my second fortune point of the day for that. What? Oh.
Okay, so your second fortune point. Reroll.
Come on, baby. Oh!
Okay. She says, "Well, I didn't intend to call Ulrich himself into question. I intended to call your belief in him into question. Yes, that's it. I don't believe you're a devout worshipper of Ulrich. How could you be? You're a sniveling wretch. The followers of Ulrich are brave and true and valiant warriors. Look at you. You're no such thing. I would believe this woman that you are with far more of a follower of Ulrich than you. At least she has appropriate armor and a very nice sword."
Everything you just said is 100% true.
What is my immediate reaction? You want to touch it?
So everything you just said, 100% true. I'm a follower of Ulrich after my own heart. Even the Ulrichians at the church kicked me out the other day.
They kicked me out. This is great. Yeah, I'm a follower, but the priesthood hates me and they kick me out.
But only because I'm right and they're short-sighted because I'm an elf. We need to you need to hit
smack
me
him
and
lightly with this poker, and I'm gonna be like, "Stop babbling."
No, I was just gonna say she should take a lash and I should take a lash and we'll be even then.
Who should take a lash?
Miss Barn.
You for blaspheming and me for
Excuse
your
me?
accuracy.
I'm a lady. I will
Miss
do
Baron,
no
I would
such
never.
thing. You will not lay hand on one of the nobility, sir, lest you lose it. Either of you raise a hand to me. How dare you?
I would never, and I would never let him either.
No.
I
believe he
had
should
no
have
idea.
two whippings. One for himself and one for his impertinence.
I'm gonna smack him again.
Ah, yes, much better. Now,
Miss Baron,
are you acknowledging your place now, wretch? Or do you need another good swiping?
That's a head scratcher.
Swipe him again. Oh yes, give him another one.
I'm gonna do it.
Just and now.
You mean this can continue? No, I'm done. I got everything I deserved. So
you don't get to say that.
Yes,
I'm gonna
we'll
smack
be
him
the
again.
judge of that. What I want to know is, are you now in your own admittance that you are in your place, filth?
Yes.
Good. Now then,
Miss Baron,
Be
he's
quiet
not
and
his
let
place
ladies
as long as he's in your
converse.
presence.
so this flyer, where did you find it? Who had it? What was being done with it? You said you saw it being passed around taverns?
I ripped up every one I saw.
What, however many more might there be?
Oh, I don't know. I came to you. I thought that maybe you're brilliant. She would know what to do.
Oh, I know what to do, all right. First of all, I'll have my servants travel the streets, go to every tavern, and procure every one of them. And then I will have a decree. Yes, that's it. I will have a decree that anybody found casting slander against the bare name should be whipped in the streets. And any of them that are inciting such deviant uprisings to shame my name will be executed. Oh, yes. I am a very wealthy woman, you know, with a very, very long, noble lineage.
Yes, ma'am.
My word carries weight here in the city. Oh, by Josh, it does.
Permission to
No! Shut your mouth, you! You will not speak with ladies present, filth.
But I heard
Miss Barron was talking to me, not you.
No, but
At this
creator
point, a small yappy-type dog comes running into
God.
and she goes, "Oh, there he is! Come to me, darling!" And she picks up the small yappy-type dog. She starts stroking the dog. She says, "Oh, Mummy's missed you. I've got a treat for you here somewhere. Let's see. You like elf ears, don't you?" And then she kind of looks at you and scowls.
I'm gonna hold the poker up. You want?
And she goes over to a sideboard and gets like a small like truffle or a foie gras, some kind of very rich, decadent food. And she gives it to me because I know it gives you gas, but you do love them so, don't you? And she says, "Do you notice anything? You down there on the floor? And Mr. Pennyworth is towering above you. Yes, that's right. He has more claim than you.
God,
Mr. Pennyworth is far superior than you in every way."
If Matthew Bain wasn't insane, he would really give a shit right now, but he so doesn't. Like, none of these insults are affecting him
I'm
at
gonna
all.
do a big show of kicking Matthew Bain. I'm of course not gonna do it hard.
Just like
I'm
more
gonna
of
be
a
like,
push to the floor than anything else.
Tell Mr. Pigglesworth you're sorry.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bigglesworth?
Pennyworth. It's
Pennyworth. I got his name wrong too.
Pennyworth?
Yes.
You are above me.
Originally, I was going to call him Goldsworth, but he never grew much beyond a small little thing, so Pennyworth seemed more appropriate.
He has the air of a Goldsworth.
Well, I'd like to say I appreciate your loyalty, my dear, in bringing me this information. You could have done so without bringing such filth to my doorstep, however.
I apologize for that.
Yes, well, so you should. So, I'm sure that you're above the requirements of a reward, aren't you? I mean, you seem the sort that would gladly do this out of the correctness and for proper propriety. Not the sort of person to come begging for coin for such actions, are you? No,
Oh,
I don't
not at
think
all.
So. No, of course not. I wouldn't insult you by offering you money for doing such a splendid act of kindness and of friendship towards my family.
It's more than I could ever hope for.
Well,
I forgot what we're here for, you guys.
I'm looking at Bertilda like with like these desperate eyes. Like, I know what's going on. I know what to say, but I can't speak.
Miss Bayern, I hate to trouble you further. I had to let you know of this, and there's more going on in the town.
Oh?
Or in the city.
Really?
I know that you were a great adversary of chaos.
Well, my family has been an adversary of chaos for many years. Oh yes, we destroyed an entire chaos cult, you know.
I know.
Oh yes, I was directly involved.
My pappy used to tell me you're going to bed. No, I'm not going to. There were other things that were being said.
Such as?
Well,
it's okay. I am a strong lady. You can tell me the truth. I can bear it.
What are we doing here, you guys? Somebody please tell me.
I would, but I'm forbidden from speaking.
Okay, this is out of character. I don't know where to go with this. I forgot what we needed her for.
As a player, we're just trying to get information at GoTree. The witch hunter.
Who cares why you're here? This is fun.
I'm just here for the ride, okay? This is great.
Just keep going.
I love it.
So
the Birdie Bane
We
show is always
heard
fun.
that a mere witch hunter by the name of Gotrig has had the honor of being in your presence before. I don't doubt that that's why he's has such a reputation for being such a great enemy of chaos himself.
Well, I don't know him well, but we have similar interests.
They say he's your sex slave.
I'm gonna check Matthew Bain.
They say he's your sex slave. Okay.
One more. Just
that's what they say.
And I will set Mr. Pennyworth on you. By gosh, I will.
It's more than he would deserve, madam. Don't pay him any mind.
Let me see. I'll show him. Right, she goes over and she's got a small decanter with like very small amount of red liquid in it and a couple of small glasses.
Oh God!
And there's also like a little glass decanter of water. She says, would you care for a glass of sherry?
Oh, I would be honored.
Okay, she pours you one of those little tiny sherry glasses and hands it to you. She goes, and you wretch, are you thirsty too?
He doesn't deserve it, madam.
No.
I don't deserve it.
He doesn't get sherry. And then she takes the water decanter and just goes over and goes, slush! And throws the water at you. She goes, there! Let's wash some of the filth from you.
Yummy.
Now then, what was this about? What is this about Mr. Hammer's fist?
Well,
This hammers your fist.
Those who were saying awful things about you also mentioned that there could be something of a chaos artifact in the city.
Oh yes, it all makes sense now. Tell me. Did you by chance see anybody with these flyers? Were they perhaps dressed in white? Very tall? Almost wizardly looking?
As a matter of fact?
Yes, I knew it! It's that terrible cad, Conrad Mesner, isn't it? He's running around. I knew it! You see?
I give you the dirtiest look, Case Bertilda.
Oh, yes. She goes, that's how I know Godfrey Hammerfist, because I've known that the Light College has a large store of dangerous chaos artifacts, including one that I took from the cult I destroyed many moons ago. And the wizards are devising ways of using these artifacts. They say they've got them there to keep them destroyed, but I ask you, why haven't they destroyed them yet? Oh, because they're saving them. That's why. They're not keeping them locked up. They're amassing them in a little vault. Oh, yes, Conrad Mesner portrays himself a great high and mighty opponent of chaos, but I have my doubts. He doesn't really appreciate people who have fought against chaos. Maybe his sympathies aren't as clear as he would have you think. After all, he dares cast aspersions upon my good family's successes against chaos. I ask you, who except somebody in league with chaos would dare tarnish the bare name with such slanders? I happen to know that Godfrey Hammerfist believes the same. And, well, he is secretly working to get him, you see. Oh, yes, if I had the money... Well, I mean, if I had the liquid capital, to fund his endeavour, I would absolutely do so. All of the Urbana funds are currently tied up in real estate and,
That's understandable.
farms and things like that, yes. But yes, he's a vile cad, and it's obviously him that's behind this. I knew it. Well, we'll fix him, won't we? Yes, we will. Won't we, Mr. Pennyworth? We'll get Mr. Mesner. Yes, when Godfrey Hammerfist will sort him out, won't he, Mr. Pennyworth? Yes, he will.
Do you know where I might find Mr. Hammerfist? We could get started on it right away. We can't have them spreading more bad.
Oh, I happen to know where he lives. It's across the river, mind, in a very unsavory part of town, I will warn you.
Oh, I'd be willing to risk it if it meant clearing your name.
Well, very kind of you. Well, yes, if you're willing, I could, give you his address and you could pop by and let him know that, you are willing to be involved in dealing with Conrad Mesner and the rest of his filthy cult.
Absolutely, I can do that. Is there anything that I can take to him to show that we come on your word?
Nothing so grand. Just let him know that you happened to talk to Milady Ben, and she you told her that Conrad Mesner had been casting afoot nasty slanders against those that would fight and do mischief against chaos, and that you were an ally. And I'm sure that with such information, between our little cabal, we can come up with a plan. Yes, you and Godfrey Hammerfist and myself. I'm sure the three of us can work together to sort out this Conrad Mesner business once and for all. Oh, yes. Let's put an end to his slanders. We'll show him.
Oh, my goodness. This lady. Right away, yes, ma'am.
Right then, let me find a parchment and quill. Right, she kind of wanders over to the sideboard and opens it up. She starts fumbling around. She says, here we are. Right then. She says, okay, so, if you head down to the Mercantile District, as I said, it's on the other side of the river. I do apologize. Rather nasty area. But once you're
I feel
done,
like anything would feel like it was just... It'll all feel that way after being in your presence in this glorious...
Well, there is some truth that it would be a blessing if the northern and eastern portions of Altdorf burned to the ground and just left the southern and western portions. But you know, I suppose the riffraff have to amass somewhere. But yes, I will give you his address, and you can make your own way there. He's in an area that we refer to as the Cluster, for very good reason.
Yes, ma'am. Is there any certain way that I should be careful to address Master Hammerfist? I don't want to offend him or...
Oh, well, I can tell you he is a very, rough around the edges sort of... Have you ever dealt with dwarves before?
I have actually.
Oh, very, very fond of mining, so I've been told. Very fond of mining and strong ale.
They do like their strong ale.
Yes, and, very, why didn't it come to me earlier? The thing that you have there with you. They're not very fond of those.
I'm going to kick Matthew Bain again.
They're not very fond of those, I can tell you. Oh, yes. Centuries' worth of grudges are born against such creatures.
Probably
why I prefer dwarves.
I'm going to whisper it like it's a dirty word. Helps.
Yes. Look at them thinking they're superior just because they live longer. Well, I tell you, do you hear me? Nobility doesn't come from the number of years you survive, but the breeding, sir, and you have none of it.
The breeding! Kick him again!
I'll piss on your grave when you're dead.
Okay, I'm going to strike him with the poker with that one.
That's fine.
I get hit and I fall back. I fall completely.
I have a feeling that you will be dead long before me, you filthy creature. Yes,
maybe before we leave the house if he keeps it up.
Have him dealt with. By the lords, if I was not a lady, I would so... Oh.
You hear that? You're lucky she's a lady. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Is just for personal gratification, you wouldn't mind giving him one more good whack for me, would you?
Oh, I'm not even going to hesitate. It's the most fun I've had all campaign.
Well then, be off with you, my dear. Go to find our ally, Goatee Hammerfist, and be sure that this one gets his just desserts.
Yes, ma'am. Get up.
I'm gonna crawl to my knees. Get up.
Don't stand up higher than the lady.
slump my shoulders, go down low.
Don't stand up higher than Mr. Pennyworth.
Yep, I go even lower.
Keep yourself stooped. Out the door. Go on.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
leaving.
there we are.
If I'm the last one out the door, I'm going to intentionally leave it.
Oh,
open.
you're not going to be the last one out the
Okay.
door. Make sure you're in front of me.
Do that passive aggressive, like leave it open and showcase that I'm leaving it open. Like, see, just walk out.
Okay. As you walk out the door, she kind of holds it to watch you, and then after you've taken a few steps, she goes, "And another thing, sir. You smell of excrement." And then she slams the door, so she makes sure she gets the last
That's
laugh.
not even a lie. That's true.
She literally threw dirt in my face. Of course I do. Yes.
Okay.
As soon as we get out of there, I'm going to be like, Matthew Bain, I need a shower.
The fact that that worked makes me so happy.
Yeah, like they're like either crit
I
failure or
love
crit
this.
success. These two, like they are.
I,
Put the
It
two
always
of them in a
comes,
room and
everything's always a
something will
double-edged
happen.
sword. One of them is like for the gallows, and the other one is like...
I need to go shower and pray after that.
Oh, I loved it. It was so much fun.
It was funny to me that you completely legit forgot why you were even here in the first place.
I was like, what am I supposed to be getting out of her? I don't.
Well, it's even worse because I knew exactly what we needed and I couldn't talk. Like, I was like, come on, Smook, you got this. I believe in you.
I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what Bertilda's supposed to do now when she started blaspheming Ulrich. I was like, no.
It
Like,
was
the worst
so
thing she
great,
could have
though.
said.
Oh,
Shaggy-
it was wonderful.
Chat voted yes for inspiration on the Shagit plan.
Okay. Really? There was no plan there. It just kind of happened.
That's usually what happens when
And that's how you get-
debt with us.
Yeah, that's how you get snake penal. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, Oldette doesn't have a plan either. Ever.
So as Bertilda says, I need a shower, I'm going to look at her and be like, yeah, we both do.
Alrighty. So after that, where are you guys going? So we know that Cadilrel went to Blessed Sigmar's temple, and Aldette went a gossiping.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Okay, so Aldette,
Yes,
you have gossip.
I do.
Give me a gossip roll, and let's find out what things you managed to find out while you were
I'm
mulling around.
specifically asking about, like, not specifically like direct, but like I'm trying to get information on that other group.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm gonna re-roll that.
I thought
There
you
is
might.
no way I'm accepting that.
Well, not when you have a 72. It's like your thing is to gossip, and oh no! Okay.
Wow.
So we're just going to say that with this being Altdorf and the vast number of would-be adventurers and wizards and stuff that live here and pass through here, you really, I mean, yes, you'll get confirmations that there have been wizards around and travelers around and elves around, but nothing that's going to give you any more solid information than what you already have, I'm afraid.
Okay.
So, after all of that, where do you all want to meet back up?
Sigmar.
Blessed Sigmar's temple.
Yeah,
Okay.
Blessed Sigmar is the perfect place
Okay.
to tie.
Well,
Let's not-
that is a nice, neat little spot for us to wrap up tonight. So,
God.
there
It
we
was
go.
so much fun.
Oh
Thank
my
you guys for doing that.
Thank you so much. That was just wonderful. That was so much.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for our subs, resubs. As always, thanks for everybody that followed the show. We have had fun. Hope you did too. We will see you on Monday for the continuation of A Relative Curse of Strahd. Y'all take care, and we will see you again soon. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.